I know it's late out there, or it might be early, but I appreciate everyone joining us. My name is BubbaRubbie. I'll be running Gauntlet 4 Quest Mode, 100% category. Today I've brought with me a commentator. He is a great person.
Hi, I'm Lyricos. I'm going to be doing pretty much all the commentary for this run because Bubba has to focus pretty hard on this guy, so I'll be running you through this little journey with us. I'll start out with a small background here since we're not going to go through the intro. The plot of this game is basically there's this castle. Anybody who gets to the end of the castle and kills the dragon gets promised the gift of eternal youth, and so that is what we are trying to do. Did we have any bids for the character name incentive?
We sure did.
Oh.
Let me get a refresh here for you.
All right.
Nice.
And the winner is Dane with $25.
Dane, D-A-N-E?
Correct.
Thank you for those donations on that. All right, we are just about ready to go here then. Should I count you down, Bubba?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, go ahead in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is going to be a pretty busy run. Basically, the format for this is, if you're not familiar with Gauntlet, there are floors that you got to go through to hit and there are trap tiles is what they're called. You can see one right here he's going to hit. There you go. What those do is those open up certain walls on the floor so that you can get through it and you can proceed to the next floor. It's structured like a big maze. The way this game is set up is there are 4 towers, one for each of 4 elements, and then there is a castle at the end. And at the end of each one, we have to fight a dragon. And the dragon fights will be very interesting. I can assure you of that. Starting out here, we do Earth Tower. You'll notice that as he's going over these tiles here, it's saying slow tile, and that he's walking slower.
Yes.
Each of the towers has a special kind of tile that debuffs the player in some kind of way. And each tower also has a ring that you can pick up that will remove that debuff, but only for that tower's debuff tile. So as part of the 100%, we will be getting these rings, and we will be picking up additionally 2 special stat pickups in Earth and Wind Tower, the next tower that we will do, as well as buying every piece of equipment available in the game, including the secret one that many of you may not be familiar with. Earth Tower does start out a little bit slow. We're just going to be going around hitting the trap tiles. This game is different than the other gauntlets in that you level up and you can put those level up points into stats of your choosing as you go along. And the primary method through which you get the XP and the gold needed to buy the equipment and to purchase the level up points is by hitting those trap tiles. They are worth far more than picking up any gold or killing any enemies will get you. So coming up here, we have a fun little mechanic where you can buy an item called a warp wing, and you can use it to instantly leave the tower you're in. The only downside of this is any trap tiles you've hit, you will not get the XP and the gold for. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Final boss already. Teleporters. Teleporters are completely random, save for a small selection in certain areas that are hard-coded to take you to a specific other teleporter. You'll be seeing plenty of fun little teleporter RNG. I can tell you that right now. They are the true final boss in this game, not the dragons. What we're doing here is we are going to go around this little spiral now that he's hit all of the traps on the previous floor, and we're going to get the float ring. The float ring allows the character to float, and as one would suspect from what I said earlier, it will stop Bubba from being slowed down on the slow tiles, which is going to become important later on. Each of the towers also has a little express floor set up where if you're playing casually and you happen to die in the middle of the tower, you can use that express floor area down here to just go to any floor on the tower, and provided that you've hit the trap that unlocks it, like right there, you can just use it to go back to where you came from, which is real nice. Now, I know it looks like he was supposed to not go down that exit there, but that was intended because there's a trap down here. We need to hit that trap. This is 100%. 100% hits all 4 traps on every floor of the tower. So we don't miss anything here. Now we're going to go around, and this is arguably the worst floor in Earth Tower right here, because we have to do this little maze where we got all these kind of debuff tiles set up. There's no shot tiles, there's no magic tiles. Magic being what he just used there. That little ding was him using a magic potion to clear enemies off the screen. That is part of the reason we play as the elf and not as any of the other classes. Obviously, the elf is fast. Everybody knows that. But the elf also gets a respectable amount of magic power, which makes the potions as strong as they are. There we go. Coming out of the maze here, we're going to be doing some fun with the float ring here. Float ring has a couple of other fun little things you can do. We'll start to see that on Earth 7, where it can enable you to avoid certain types of other tiles, including teleporters, which the game does intentionally use to block access to some areas, such as that trap we just hit there. It can also be used to find more interesting routes throughout the floors, because the game is very much structured to want you to do it in a certain path, a certain pathing. We're not going to do that. That's slow. We don't do slow here. So we're going to go down this teleporter, and now, instead of going into that one, we're just going to use the float ring to go all the way around here and then enter from that side so that we can skip through. And there are plenty of other neat little skips with the float ring and the teleporters that we'll see. Now, it does look like, you know, Bubba's leaving behind some keys and stuff here, and that is intentional. The key routing and the potion routing is very, very specific in this game. Always have to have a certain amount at any given time, because if we run short on potions, we're not able to clear the screen at the optimal locations. What he did right there was he put 2 more points into character speed, so gotta go fast. This is a speed run after all. This floor is going to have the entry to the first secret shop in the game. There are 2 secret shops in the game because there are only 4 dragons, and although each dragon gives a bonus to a certain stat, there are 6 stats that you can get upgraded, so they had to put in 2 secret shops to make up for that. Oh, getting a little hairy on the health there. So the first secret shop that we're going to get here raises the armor stat. The armor stat is essentially useless. It is not coded incorrectly. It is just essentially useless in this game. And the second one will be the speed stat, which is very important because gotta go fast. There we go. Buying up the armor here in this next little entrance.
Welcome.
Got it. Making a small backtrack here to pick up a few extra potions. Potions are pretty much the linchpin of this run outside of your speed stat, because it enables you to just clear things very, very quickly. And there are a lot of bottlenecks. Earth 3 here is just a big like roundabout maze and stuff, so if we've got any donations or anything, now would be a good time to jump in.
Absolutely. While I refresh the donation tracker, I just want to also say that the Become a Viking incentive was also met. See, at some point in this run, we will become a Viking.
Excellent.
Right.
But unfortunately, I do not see any donations at this time, so if you'd like to have a message read out on air, just donate to children's cancer, please consider donating.
Alright, we're coming up on the end of Earth Tower here, and so as I mentioned, each of the towers has a dragon at the end of it. We're gonna come around here, and actually Earth 2 has probably my favorite trap tile in the game coming up. It's trap tile I like to call the nuclear trap tile. I'll let you all guess why we call it that, and you'll probably be able to figure it out pretty quickly when we get to it. Coming up here around this corner. And yes, it is intended for you to sneak between the exits diagonally like that. That is how they want you to do this. There's our nuclear trap. As you can see, it has removed every single wall except those breakable ones on the floor. Doing a little bit of setup here for the dragon. Alright, so we like to play games with the dragon. The dragon does not like these games. The first game we're going to play with the dragon is hide and seek. Ta-da, we win. The dragon can't find us. Oh, got pushed in the corner a little bit early there. Not the worst fight, but also not the optimal. Ideally, we would not get pushed back up into the corner there, and we can continue to get rapid hits on the head and kill it probably a few seconds faster.
Yeah, his wings push us back. And so do the flame tornadoes.
That's got magic power.
Going to have plenty of other chances to have fun with the dragon, though.
Yep.
All right, so we're bumping up speed here again. Now, I know Earth Tower looked kind of slow on the movement side. We're going to rectify that starting right now. Get ready to zoom. Small side shout out to the soundtrack in this game. It is phenomenal, and this is probably my favorite track in the game right here that you're hearing in the background.
This is a good one.
The Wind Tower moves considerably faster than Earth Tower. The special ring in this tower is the mirror ring, which causes your shots to reflect off of walls. This is actually not a good thing for us, because if the shot reflects off the wall, then that means we can't fire another one unless we manually reset it, which requires you to let off the fire button and push it again. That's slow. We don't like slow. So, although we do have to pick up the mirror ring, we will not be using the mirror ring except when we fight the dragon. Coming around here to hit the final trap in Wind 2. So the optimal leveling path that we figured out is to put a point into magic first, and then we basically just bum rush the speed stat. Obviously, you know, gotta go fast. And then after that, we do a kind of a split divide between the magic and the shot power. Shot power is how strong the elf's arrows are, and it determines how quickly you can kill things, obviously.
Welcome.
Buying our first equipment upgrade here, we do not, the 100% category does not require you to buy every piece of equipment, only the best pieces of equipment. But we do it because it provides a significant enough boost for certain areas of certain towers that it is worth picking them up. It should be noted that say you buy the first piece of equipment at 1,000 gold, and then you buy the next piece of equipment at 2,000 gold. The game does give you a refund of 500 gold for the first piece that you bought. So it's not entirely wasteful to incrementally upgrade equipment as you go through the run. The mirror ring here is, as you can see, hidden behind a bunch of back and forth and very convoluted pathing. We are going to do the same thing that we did in Earth once we pick it up, and use the warp wing to just leave. That way we do not have to backtrack all the way to the express. Grab our one extra potion and then moving on to Wind 4. Wind 4 is the first actual regular floor in the game that you cannot hit all 4 traps on in one go. The rings are designed so that you can't do that in one go, but most of the conventional floors, you can hit all 4 of the traps in one trip. That is not the case with Wind 4. So we're going to hit the first 3, come down here, take the express back down to 3, and then have to come in on the other side. And then there's one more trap. And we get to meet our good friend, the final boss, the teleporters again, on Win 5. Win 5 is generally much more cooperative than other instances of teleporter RNG. But we'll find out here.
All right, 5. What you got tonight?
All right, that's good. That's where we want to be for that one. So far, so good. We got to get into the center to hit this trap here. Looking good so far. Now we got to go back out to the outside because there are 2 more traps to hit on each of the other remaining sides of the floor.
I like it.
That was good and clean. We will take that. So Win 6 has our entry to the next secret shop, the one that I mentioned that gives the speed upgrade. He's going to come over here and use the potion to clear the grunts in the top corner because he has to go that way at the end of the floor. And now it's going to chug for just a second. That one trap causes a bit of lag, and we're not entirely sure why.
It's that entire
I mean, it
open
does
space.
remove a large number of the walls, yes, but if you manage to have a utility that can show you the entire floor, there's a little Easter egg in that, in where when you hit that trap, it reveals the initials NS, which I personally am not sure what that stands for, but it perhaps the names of one of the developers in secret or something. Now again, this is intended, you're probably thinking, well, he's standing on a teleporter. How can you stand on a teleporter? Because there's no other teleporter to go to. The game intentionally uses teleporters to block access to some areas. And that was the intended way to break that wall there, was get on top of it with the float ring, then switch to the mirror ring in the menu so that you can fire without it kicking you off of the teleporter. It's pretty interesting. They did a lot of very neat design choices with this game. Alright, here we go. Coming up, Win 7. Not a whole lot to say here, so if you've got anything for us, host, go for it.
Sure thing. I'd just like to take a moment then and shout out our fellows over at the Japanese Restream. We're working with them again this year, and you can view them at twitch.tv/Japanese_Restream. And they are obviously then broadcasting this same event, but translated into Japanese. How about that?
Thank you again to the Japanese Restreamers. Alright, so you're seeing a lot of teleporters here on 8. This path that we take through here is not possible without the float ring, obviously. But most of these teleporters are also hard-coded to only take you to certain teleporters, like this row here. This entire column of teleporters can only go to themselves, and the row along the bottom can do the same. And now we get to have actual fun with teleporters. Win 9 is one of the worst floors in the game for teleporter RNG, so let's cross our fingers here, and there's one. Clear those guys out. Now we need to get down to the bottom. Alright, there's 2. Now we need to get over to the left. Oh my god.
And this did not happen. All right, let's try to get
The dream, even.
Did not happen in
Wow.
practice.
That is
We'll take
the
it.
cleanest that has ever happened, I swear. Alright, so we're just going to play another game of hide and seek with the dragon here. Not a whole lot new stuff going on, but now we have the mirror ring, which fixes the problem of being pushed in the corner because we can just bounce the shot off the wall. Still don't want that to happen because it does slow it down a little bit, but overall a very clean fight. The dragon is very bad at playing hide and seek. And now the dragon in the castle is telling us, oh, hey, I'm very surprised you've got 2 of the coat of arms already. Maybe I will see you after all. Putting our points into magic here and heading up to Fire Tower. Now, continuing to go faster and faster, you can see now we are clearly faster than the screen scrolls. This is a good thing. This causes us to do some things with teleporters that the game does not expect you to be able to do. We're just gonna zoom right on through. You'll also notice that of the 2,000 health that you usually start with until leveled up, we're already down to 1,600. Fire Tower enemies do a lot of damage. Fire Tower is the most damaging tower in the game, by far. But it is not a problem because we are not going to be here for very long. We're going to grab the special ring for this tower, which is the heal ring. The heal ring removes the damage over time that Gauntlet is very famous for. And it also negates the special debuff tile, which is the... I think the Japanese translation was the pain tile. It causes the damage over time to increase by a factor of 4. Alright, so now we're going to continue with the tower proper. Fire 3 is the first of the big towers, or big floors in this tower that require you to do a large roundabout path to hit everything. Bunch of extra potions in the middle there that we will end up grabbing because potions are very important, like I said. Potions are the most essential resource that we have.
Short a key, I am short a key.
You are short a key, yes. Alright, there we go. That is the optimal 3 keys. Alright, now don't forget your 1 trap this time. As you can tell, this floor is laid out like a maze, and it's very easy to forget the 4th trap here if you're not paying attention. There it is. You got it. Going to come around the top side here because we need to shoot that wall as well as hit that trap, and then he's going to make a small detour just for the extra potion and the 200 health there. We're cruising, we're moving fast. Gonna take a small equipment upgrade here. The first of the knife and the boots, both of which give 1 point of speed, so now we're moving even more. Which is good because we have another one of my favorite traps in the game coming up here. That guy, which basically destroys all the walls in the middle of this floor. And as mentioned, you know, you have to remember where all these trap tiles and the broken walls are by memory. So, like I said, Bubba needs to focus here because it's a lot of information to digest when you're going through and doing the run. And obviously, after a certain amount of time, you kind of get used to it. You can remember it a little bit easier, but still have to contend with the RNG of enemies spawning in your path and stuff when you don't want them to. Alright, there we go. Unfortunately, I don't get to do my usual little bit of commentary here where we completely skip the entirety of Fire 8 because this is 100%, so we're not allowed to do that. But in the any percent run, we don't play Fire 8. It's not necessary at all. Now, there is a reason he is getting bottlenecked here fighting these enemies instead of using a potion. And that reason is Fire 9. As you can see, Fire 9 is a very crowded floor. We're going to make one quick trip through the center here. Cheat our way out by making sure that we hit that teleporter before the screen scrolls up to where it's supposed to take us. Since the screen hasn't scrolled the other teleporter that it wants to go to on screen, it's not a valid target, so it sends us to the one on the bottom and lets us leave. And that is only possible with the amount of character speed that we have right now. You have to be faster than the screen to force the teleporters to put you in places where it does not expect you to be put. The game is coded such that a teleporter cannot place you on another teleporter that is even 2 pixels off screen. Alright, we're doing a little bit of setup here for the dragon.
Let's see if I can do it.
Alright, good luck. You will notice, everybody, that we're not playing hide and seek this time, and you will also notice that the dragon's wings are out. That is why we are not playing hide and seek. Those wings do frame damage every single frame that you're in contact with them, and it is a lot of damage, so we cannot play that game anymore. But hold my words here before we find out. Nope, not quite. Oh,
I did.
Oh. All right. Not a big deal. We do not lose anything from that death except the potions. But we can go back through and pick some of them up again.
Yep.
That is not a common thing to happen, by the way. That dragon did not want to play our game with us.
Limited visibility.
So we're just going to have to try to play again.
In the meantime, I have a donation for you.
Go for it.
We have $25 from Bizarre Nikki, who says, "Good luck on the run, bub. Always enjoy seeing the speedy elf faster than the screen." Thank you very much for that donation. And if you want to have more like it, please donate.
All right, we're just ticking all the boxes here. That's never happened before. We got that one out of the way.
Yep.
All right, not quite yet. There we go. All right, so this is the new game that we play with the dragon now. The dragon has terrible depth perception. So we have a 3-pixel window where if we stand here and cause him to do the fire breath, not only will he not do anything else, if we're in that 3-pixel window, he can't hit us because we're too far away. We're just close enough that he wants to breathe fire and have a barbecue, but we're just far enough away that he's going to fail with it because he doesn't have good depth perception. That is what we are trying to do now. We actually ended up finding that fun little thing entirely on accident. It was back when I was originally routing the game, and I was having some trouble with the dragon fights and just kind of playing around and stuff, and managed to run across the breath in such a way that I realized it wasn't hitting me. So played around with it, figured out a fairly consistent manipulation for it. It is still a 3-pixel window, so it is quite difficult, but you kind of do get a feel for it after you've done it enough times. Coming into Water Tower here, kind of got the swag there. So these tiles with the little slants on them that you're seeing, those are called slip tiles. They basically work like ice. Think ice physics, because every game has to have ice physics. You know, we got our ice physics here. Thankfully, we're going to get the fight ring here, which will enable us to disable those. And the fight ring is kind of special from the other rings in that it doesn't give you a passive ability. It gives you the ability to punch anything with a maximum stat value of 255. Which is enough to kill anything in one hit. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on some of the more fun things that I wish it worked on, like dragons, for instance. Alright, fight ring is on. Doing our level up here. You will notice that we are not putting any more stat points into anything else other than magic and shot power now that speed is maxed out. And that is intentional. The 100% category does not require us to max all of the stats. Just to get all the pickups and the 3 secret shops. We do not have to get every stat to 20 for it to count as a valid run. Alright, Water 8 here can be a bit of a doozy, but it's a good chance for us to pick up all the keys we need. Wow, got the good hit on the diagonal. Usually you have to go through the teleporter to line that one up and make sure you get it.
Already full.
Alright, looking good. Over there to clear the screen, and then he's going to come back and hit this. There we go, in this teleporter for that wall. Coming up on the next floor here, Water 6, there's going to be a bit more fun with teleporters. We've got one that we manipulate, and then we've got a series of 2 or 3 that can be either kind or unkind to us, depending on how the game feels today. Here we go with the manipulation. Free potion for that one. Oh, come on now. Alright. Come on now. Alright, alright. That's not too bad. We only had to try twice there on that one. 3 tries on the first one, twice on the second one. We'll take it. It's possible to just get stuck there trying to go through that teleporter repeatedly. Potion, alright. Water 5 has an interesting little exploit we do here where we use the mirror ring to break that wall. That is not what the game expects you to do. The game expects you to turn your shot speed down and fire at it from inside that middle hallway. But we don't have to do that because we have the mirror ring. Oh, ouch. That was a fake gold.
Nice little mimic there. Oh, fight through that.
No shot tiles. With the perfect stop on the generator to get that shot off. Alright. Water 4 here is another one of our long roundabout floors. So if you've got any donations or anything you'd like to say, host, you can go for it.
Sure thing. I don't have any donations at the moment, but if my notes are correct, we are close to becoming a Viking, so look forward to that.
Yes, we will be becoming a Viking right after Water Tower here.
And I'll just take a moment then to also shout out one of our other partners, LPAV, for providing the PMVs and projectors and cameras that we're using here. Thank you very, very much for your support.
Alright, so we did our shop there on Water 4 and now have the most expensive boots in the game, the magic boots, which do give a bonus to magic, as the name would imply. And they also give us an additional point of speed. since I did not note it earlier, the maximum any stat can be in this game on the character is 20, with the exception of health, obviously. And we should now be at 20 speed.
Yes.
Which, as you can see, the screen cannot deal with it. The screen would just like to take a nap at this point and let the elf do whatever he's going to do. Very, very busy water 2 here. Outside of speed obviously being good because faster movement and faster is better, speed is the best way to minimize encounters in this game because most generators are coded in such a way where they don't start with enemies next to them, and no generator can spawn enemies unless that generator is on the screen. So just zooming past things before they have a chance to spawn is the optimal strat. We're going to attempt to play barbecue with the dragon again here. Oh, no, he won that time. We have more health than the last one, though, so this should go considerably better than... yeah, well, 1 pixel too high, look like. Get those tornadoes out of the way. That's it right there, yep. Bubba is very good at setting up the backup for this. Like, I cannot for the life of me when I run the game do that. Alright, so this is the dragon in the castle just kind of taunting us here, being like, oh, you finally did it. You broke all the seals and stuff. Well, I'm here. Come and get me, boy. So we're going to do it. We're going to come and get him. The debuff tile here in Castle, I'm going to mention early. It's these confused tiles. Confused tiles take a little bit of an explanation here. So, confused tiles, if you change your directional input while on a confused tile, what it will do is it will add a 45-degree angle to the input that you're putting in. So, if you just, say you run to the right across some confused tiles, as long as you don't press any other direction but right, like right there, you'll go straight through. If you stop and press a different direction, say down for instance, it will either be down right or it will be down left because it added 45 degrees to your input. This is not avoidable until we get the defend orb. We just kind of have to put up with the confused tiles. And it does get, you'll see, it does get a little bit hairy in a couple areas. Been pretty fortunate with the invisibility so far. No perfect button presses. Buying the most powerful knife in the game there. That is the second piece of equipment that is required for the validation of the 100% run. And the final one is going to be the arrow, which we will be getting here on Castle 1, which requires an interesting setup to get, to say the least. We do not care about those deaths. We are going to let them be. They can chill over there and have a little party of their own. We don't need to kill them. They're not bothering anybody. All right, so you're seeing the two diagonal exits there again, and if you're gonna guess like we did before on Earth 2, you would be correct. We have to go in between these two diagonal exits, and to accomplish that, we're going to turn speed all the way down to 0, and the shot speed is for what comes right afterwards. Just trying to line it up here. All right, good. So the decrease in shot speed is because at higher shot speeds, arrows do not reflect the way that they normally would, which would prevent that arrow from hitting that tile right there. Also, give it up. First shot every time. That shot is incredibly difficult to make. We did not, unfortunately, get out the proper way, but getting that arrow to bounce down that hall and break that trap so that you can get to the secret shop is not an easy thing to do, and somehow Bubba has found a very, very consistent setup for it. I am amazed every single time he gets it. Alright, you will also probably notice we started castle on the 5th floor, not the 1st or the 10th floor like the first 4 towers. That's because castle is designed in a way where it wants you to start in the middle, go all the way down to the bottom, and then go all the way back up to the top with another little side track towards the bottom about halfway through again. Break the end, you know.
Yeah, a little confusion there.
It's those confused tiles, I tell you what, they're doing it in real life.
Oh yeah.
The game knows we're doing it live, so it's doing it live to us. Alright. Not the worst second half of Castle 5. Alright, let's hear it one more time for our final boss, teleporters. We get to fight one more time here. So, which of these teleporters you come out of when you go in is entirely random. So we have to hope that we get put on the teleporter on the bottom.
Yep.
And we are not getting that one. There, okay, there. Oh, hey, even got out nice and quick, too. Because those are confused tiles there, and as noted, confused tiles are a bad time. Alright. Oh, hey, alright, so pretty clean left exit there. Had some trouble getting down on the bottom, but we're going to do a little bit of a backtrap here to get the Defend Orb. The Defend Orb is it's not equipable, it's just a passive item, but it essentially turns off the confused tiles. There we go. Now we will not be confused anymore. While we continue to backtrack up, host, you can go ahead with anything you've got.
Sure thing. Just want to plug a few donation incentives that we have open for Earthbound coming up later today. We have a goal of $500, and we only have 40 currently to see the Mummy Softlock and Ghost photos. So if you all want to see that in the Earthbound, I think it's glitchless even, I shouldn't speak about the category if I'm not looking at it. But then we also have a couple bid wars as well for the favorite food and the special power. So if you want to weigh in on what we're doing here with Earthbound, please get those donations in.
Alright, now you're going to note it looks like we're on Castle 7 and 8 right now. We're not. We're on Castle 9. Castle 9 is the worst floor in any of the towers because, as you will shortly see, it is divided into this little X pattern with each of the 4 sections segregated from the other, which means it requires you to enter it 4 times from each of the 4 areas, and it also requires you to backtrack to Castle 7 in order to get to 2 of the sides. So, as I said, it is not, in fact, Castle 7 and 8. It is Castle 9 now. Everything has become Castle 9. The 4-player run does not have to do any of this because the 4-player run can do weird things with teleporters that we are not able to do in single player. It is quite unfortunate. Bubba is making short work of the first 2 sides now. All right. Moving on to the final portion of Castle. Just got to go up the top side of Castle 7 here. Now, I know you're probably thinking we're going to see some more fun dragon tricks with this last one, and you're not wrong, but the dragon gets a few tricks of his own coming up here. And I bet that you did not guess, viewers, that one of these tricks is going to be total and complete invulnerability. You'll note that we have the 4 orbs from outside the castle in here. And it works the same as it did in the lobby. We have to shoot all 4 of the orbs to turn them off in order to remove that invincibility shield. And they do turn back on after a short period of time, like right now. Fortunately, as you do more damage to the dragon, less of the torches turn on.
Hey,
and
there's one. Skip a whole phase.
we are
do it
going to
again.
just skip the second part of it.
Almost.
Not quite the third. We take those.
He's already.
All right. So we've reached the end, and now we get to get the prize of eternal youth, right? That was, I told you, that was the plot, is you get to the end of the castle, and now we get to be eternally youthful. So let's go collect our prize.
But I mean, we're already elves, though. We live for hundreds of years.
Oh, so you're going to not take the eternal youth?
No.
Okay, we're not taking the eternal youth, everybody.
Baka.
We went through all that trouble, and we died to a fire dragon so that we cannot be eternally youthful.
Might have to fight.
Oh, no, there it is. This dragon is susceptible to the same tricks as the previous one, so we're just going to play with his depth perception again. And we out, bro. Time is going to be coming up here as the screen turns black after exiting on the bottom. The merchant's just kind of taunting us for not taking the gift of eternal youth. And it's time.
Not one of my better runs, but hey,
I mean,
made it through.
dying on fire is definitely not a thing that typically happens.
Yeah, that was different.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.
Oh.
Thanks for having
No,
us.
wait.
Oh, wait.
We still have our incentive.
We got it. Yeah, we got to be a Viking.
So I'm just going to
That's
hit the old
right.
reset button here.
We got to do a little bit of short backtrack to get to where we need to be for that.
No, I'll just hit continue. And there we are.
Oh, right. You can do that.
Yep.
All right, so
You know what, you know what Vikings do, right?
I do know what Vikings do. But do the viewers know what Vikings do?
Vikings pillage, plunder, and sometimes murder. Oh, jeez.
Oh, those poor merchants.
And now we have all their treasure to... Oh, my goodness. They're all mimics.
They were ready for us.
no. Man.
We have failed as Vikings, everybody.
Crime doesn't pay.
It sure doesn't.
All right. Well, that is the end of our run.
All right.